Hello, everyone. It's time for Vanished Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 277, season 12. Today's date is November 19th, 2023, and welcome to the program. Yes, I have returned for another episode this weekend. On today's show, I will talk about Naugles, tacos, and hamburger restaurants that were in the Chicagoland area, probably in the 1980s. Also, I will talk about my memories of merchandise that featured Bozo the Clown. Like, for example, t-shirts, coloring books, toys, etc. I'll get into more detail later on as the program goes. Right now, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Tickle Antiperspirant Deodorant Roll-On. And here's a commercial from 1978. And I remember this product very well. When I start playing the commercial, when you hear the first woman speaking, she's a well-known actress. I will tell you who it is when the commercial is done, and I'll talk a little bit about her. Okay? So sit back and relax, and I'll be right back, folks. Thank you.
What's the best reason to buy an antiperspirant? To help keep you dry. Which one keeps you drier? Tickle. Beautiful packages, different fragrances. Which one keeps you drier? Tickle. This aerosol versus this big ball roll-on. Which one keeps you drier? Tickle.
You'll love Tickle with its big, wide ball. It keeps you drier than the leading spray.
This episode is brought to you by Google Gemini. With the Gemini app, you can talk live and have a real-time conversation with an AI assistant. It's great for all kinds of things, like if you want to practice for an upcoming interview, ask for advice on things to do in a new city, or brainstorm creative ideas. And by the way, this script was actually read by Gemini. Download the Gemini app for iOS and Android today. Must be 18 plus to use Gemini Live.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Tickle Antiperspirant Deodorant, or it's just deodorant, with the big white ball. It's a roll-on. So I used to see these commercials during the late 1970s. There was another commercial where they featured women and they start giggling, kind of bizarre doing that. I used to see those commercials mostly at prime time when I watch television, like, for example, during like the Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, Three's Company era, and the Love Boat, and Fantasy Island, on ABC, on Channel 7, on WLS TV, and I used to see this product in drugstores, like Costco Drugs, that is, or a couple neighborhood drugstores like Edwards Drugstore, or Crestline Pharmacy, near my old house, like that. And it came in different colors like that. I think it was the same. I don't think it was a different scent. It was just like that. If you want green, pink, yellow, blue, whatever. It disappeared a few years later. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know who made it. I didn't do a thorough research on it, but it was like in competition with Secret, strong for a man, but made for a woman. By the way, that product's still there. Okay. The woman that's speaking at first is none other than actress Connie Selica. You may know her as from the TV series Hotel. And that was a great show. Before that, she starred in The Greatest American Hero. And but Hotel I used to watch every Wednesday night right after Dynasty. You know, it was like they called it the Love Boat on the Land, like that. They had guest stars, but there was like had a soap opera feeling later on. I have it on DVD. You know, I haven't watched it yet. I got to start watching it because the last time I watched it was really on the air. You know, back in the '80s. So it was a good show. I like that. That started with James Brolin, Barbara Streisand's husband, and also Harry Belafonte's daughter, Sherry. So that's it. And then she did some movies, TV movies, that is, but I haven't seen her lately. You know, I guess she's taking it easy. And she's married to John Tesh. He's a musician, but he's best known for Entertainment Tonight. Yeah, he was a great host. I liked him. He was a good man. I think he had prostate cancer, like me. I think he did. I'm sure. I'm not. I'm not positive. Okay. Anyway, at the beginning of the program, I said I'm going to talk about these two topics: Naugles tacos and hamburger restaurants. They were in the Chicagoland area at one time. Also, merchandise that featured Bozo the Clown. And before I get started, mention one thing. I received a email from someone. I know this person. He says, I love the past 5 episodes of your podcast, you know, but I'm working out, you know, I'm trying to lose weight, and I'm on, I don't know, he's on a, not treadmill, Peloton, and he's riding the bike. From what I understand, Peloton, you have like a big screen and you're watching that, because I'm not very familiar with it, but I know it's like a big, huge bike with a big screen like you have in your living room or your basement, you know, and you're talking to people. I don't know the whole thing about it. I heard it's very expensive. And anyway, he said that I love listening to you. You know, it gets me motivated, gets me through the day. I love nostalgia, you know, and it's beautiful. And he's in his about my age, around 60. And he loves it. So, and I was going to ask him, oh, are you okay to use this product? Because, you know, this Peloton, because it looks kind of, what's the word for it? Kind of strenuous, you know, because it's for like young people. But he said, no, it's fine. I don't go, you know, he just goes on and does his thing. He doesn't compete. Like that. And, but believe it or not, he told me he doesn't like it. His wife makes him do it. I said, no, all right. I'm not going there. I don't want to get involved, you know. But anyway, he loves my podcast. And I told him, thank you. That's very, very nice. That's very nice. And I told him, and he asked me, you're going to do another episode? Oh, I said, yes. I will continue. Yeah, just be notified. You know, keep subscribing, and you'll be notified, and you'll get the new episode like yesterday or today. He sent this email up Friday, so I hope he got it. Okay, now we'll talk about Naugles tacos and hamburgers restaurants. Mostly it was Mexican restaurant. It's a fast food Mexican restaurant chain, kind of like Taco Bell. Not like Pepe's. Pepe's is a little more sit down restaurant. You know, it's good. I like that. And I'll give you a history of this chain. In the beginning, it was founded in 1970 in Riverside, California. The founder's name was Dick Naugle. And he was a partner from Del Taco. I'm not very familiar with Del Taco because I think Del Taco is another chain in California. I think we had a few restaurants here. I know there was one in Oakland near my home, and I never went there. So, and their motto was prepare food fresh, serve customer fast, keep place clean. Sounds like Tarzan talk. That's what it sounds like to me. So, then another man, his name was Harold Butler. He bought the chain. He was the founder of Denny's, which is still around, Denny's restaurant, in 1979, and then he started franchising, and then he just expanded to Chicago, like that, and by 1984 he had like about 275 of them. That's a lot. It really is. So to tell you the truth, I never went there. I wish I did. I wish I did go. They were located in other states and cities, also Nevada, Utah, cities like St. Louis, Orlando, also Chicago. Yeah, like that. Of course, Arizona. They had a few like that. Like for example, in Nevada, they had in Las Vegas or probably Reno or Reno or Las Vegas or Carson City. The company, no, the capital. Excuse me. Okay, getting way ahead of myself. Anyway, you know what? I found an ad from 1986 from the Chicago Tribune, and it lists all the locations. And so here we go. I won't give you the addresses, but I'll just give you the suburbs and the city. Like, for example, it was in Arlington Heights, also Aurora, Bolingbrook. In Chicago, there were two of them. One was at 6839 North Clark Street in Rogers Park neighborhood. Also, it was in, which I did not know, it was on 8231 South Cicero. And I think that's Burbank or Chicago. I'm trying to think. I think it's Burbank. I must have missed that. So I think it's Chicago. Yeah, I think it's Chicago. Also, it's on Addison and Western. A lot of people mentioned that. When I posted this yesterday, they mentioned it was on Addison and Western, which means it was probably near Lane Tech and WGN TV at the studio. Also in Des Plaines, also Elmhurst, and also Evergreen Park, like 95th in California. Glen Ellen, Glenview, Hanover Park, Hoffman Estates, Joliet, North Chicago. Also in Orland at 14345 LaGrange Road. Palatine, St. Charles, and also in Villa Park. Yeah. So that's great. And the menu consisted of, tacos, like, for example, burritos, tacos, burritos, tostadas. The desserts, also hamburgers. No one mentioned the hamburgers. I don't know if people liked the hamburgers there, but they said the tacos were good. I love burritos. Oh, I love a burrito. They're my favorites. I usually get with. I don't like tomatoes. I get it with cheese and lettuce and a little sour cream. Delicious, like that. Okay. Right now, I'm going to play a commercial from 1986. A Naugles Mexican restaurant commercial, and it features a man speaking. I won't tell you who he is until after the commercial, but he's a well-known TV character actor. Okay, so here is Naugles Mexican restaurant from 1986, and I'll be right back, folks. Thank you.
This is where the trouble started. Santa Ana was there, Davy Crocker was here. I, Senor Naugles, was cooking my famous fajitas.
A handmade tortilla filled with marinated sirloin, steak and onions, fresh tomatoes and scallions.
Everybody loved them. Santa Ana wants them all. Davy Crocker wants them all. Next thing, they're shooting. Believe me, I remember the Alamo.
Taste the legendary fajitas of Senor Naugles.
Kroger Delivery has one mission: to deliver the freshest food right to your door. That's why our drivers are pros. Our trucks are refrigerated. And when it comes to low prices, we always deliver. With $20 off your first order of $75 or more, there's no better time to get in on the action. Mission accomplished. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Naugles Mexican restaurant. Uh, that character's name, his name was Senor Naugle. The actor who was speaking, that was actor Roger C. Carmel. And yeah, he was a well-known TV character actor. He was famous for starring in a sitcom in the late '60s, The Mother-in-Laws, which was one of the funny shows I've seen when I was a little kid, and that started with Eve Arden and Kay Ballard, and he was only there for the first season, and then Richard Deacon took over. Mel Cooley from the Dick Van Dyke Show. Anyway, but he's best well known for two roles in two TV series in the late '60s. One was Batman, Colonel Gum. That was the episode that featured Green Hornet and Kato. And also in Star Trek as Harry Mudd. Yeah, he starred in two episodes. He also was in He was in the Next Generation. When he started in those commercials, he was only there for like a brief time, and then he passed away. He apparently from a drug overdose. And then Avery Schreiber took over. He was best known as the guy in the Doritos commercials, with the mustache and the curly hair. He would get annoyed when somebody would crunch a Dorito, and he would get so distracted. I love that. And so I don't know. That's a shame. He was a talented man. They both were talented. They were funny. Anyway, for Naugles, they left the Chicagoland area. Not exactly sure. Maybe a few years later, about late '80s, and then it linger on, in the '90s and 2000s, and then they brought it back. Yeah, they brought it back, and yeah. So it's according to the website of Naugles, it like in about 1989, they converted all the Naugles into Del Taco. Okay, I don't know if the food was the same. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if they did, but then they closed all of them, and then somebody brought it back, and they brought it back, and there's a few locations in California. So that's good. So I don't know how the food is. I have no idea, but it's I have a clue. So I used to see the sign in Evergreen Park and also in Burbank. It said Naugles. Never had the opportunity to go there. Never had the opportunity to dine there. Because if I want Mexican food, you do go to Taco Bell, but that's fast food. It's okay. But I love, there's a couple Mexican restaurants around me, that like independent ones, local ones that they're delicious. Their food was good like that. Mexican food it's one of my favorites. It's not the favorite. So whenever I get a craving for a taco or a burrito, go get one. Just got to be careful. Okay. That's nice. All right. Next up, I'm going to talk about merchandising that involves Bozo the Clown. And this is a memory of mine ever since I was a kid. Because like me, growing up in Chicago, we watched Bozo Circus, started in 1961 and lasted through 2001. Starred Bob Bell and Joey Diaria. But I grew up at the Bob Bell era, from the late 60s to the 70s. And Bob Bell was the best Bozo. He was the funniest man I ever saw in my life. He does when he yells or he says these inside jokes. He made everyone laugh. He was great. Anyway, so the merchandising started probably earlier than that. For example, because Larry Harmon, I believe, created the. I don't know if he created the character. I'm not sure. I forgot. But I think he got the rights to it, and then he started merchandising. Like, for example, children's books, lunch boxes, coloring books, games, dolls. And I remember in 1962, Mattel introduced a doll, with Bozo the Clown. And I think you pull a string or something, or you push something, and then he starts laughing. He starts talking, he starts laughing, like that. Can't do that. I can't do Bozo. So, anyway, then I saw more merchandising coming up, like, for example, coloring books. I remember I bought a coloring book from Gately's People's Store in the early 70s. We lived in a Rosa neighborhood. I begged my mom to buy me a Bozo coloring book because I like. The funny thing is, there were a couple pages when there's Bozo. I color his hair green, and he looked like the Joker. I don't know why I did that. That was experimenting like that. But anyway, I did the right colors for Bozo, and that was a lot of fun when you were a kid. Maybe you should do a podcast episode about that, about coloring books. It'd be interesting. And, they had games and toys. Oh, the Grand Prize game, that came later, based on the game they had on the show. When you're a kid, you use a substitute for buckets. I remember we used coffee cans, some pots that my mom had. Me and my brothers kept bugging her to use. Oh boy, was she mad about that. Anyway, that was fun. Let's see what else. Merchandise. Oh, you know what else I had? Bozo hot dogs. Someone mentioned this yesterday. When I posted this announcement, I'm going to talk about merchandise about Bozo the Clown. Talk about Bozo hot dogs. I said, okay, I will talk about Bozo hot dogs. One memory that stuck in my mind forever was they did a commercial and they showed Bozo's mother. It was a woman dressed like Bozo, only she had a bun in her hair and a dress and an apron, and she talked about her son, but she had the same shoes as him. And she talked about Bozo's hot dogs. Oh, that poor lady. And I wonder who did that. And then they probably all put all that makeup. I can't find that commercial on YouTube. I can't find it anywhere. But I do remember distinctly they showed it on the air. I don't know if I ate it. I'm sorry. I don't know if I eaten the hot dogs. I don't know if my mother bought it. Probably not. But they did advertise, they had Bozo the Clown on the packaging, and it was there for a few years. I know Dominic's had it, or Jewel. They sold that. I don't know how they were. I don't know how tasty they were. I have no clue. I guess maybe not good because they were on the market temporarily. So there were lots of merchandise. Lunch boxes. Someone had a Bozo lunchbox one time when I was in school. I got very envious. I always wanted one, but never got it. Okay. Right now I'm going to play a commercial. This is for the gumball machine that featured Bozo the Clown, but it had two other characters. It had Popeye and Mickey Mouse, and Bozo's in the middle. And this is the Hasbro Gumball Banks from 1968. They used to play this during the 1970s when I watched TV in the afternoon, and their cash line was, "Thanks for the gumbo. Thanks for the gumbo." They said that. So here is the commercial for Hasbro's Gumball Banks from 1968. So sit back and relax, and I'll be right back, folks. Thank you.
Here's a penny, Mickey. Thanks for the gumball. Get me a gumball for a penny, Bozo. Thanks for the gumball. Penny for the gumball, Popeye. Thanks for the gumball.
Gumball Banks. Get gumball refills and fill up Mickey Mouse, Popeye, or Bozo. See the gumballs go down. Watch the pennies go up.
What are you going to do with all your pennies, Popeye? Buy raw gumballs.
Gumball Banks from Hasbro.
Burlington's Oh Wow Winter Clearance event is on right now. Throughout your store, you'll find tons of new markdowns just taken. Look for red clearance tags throughout the entire store for her, him, the kids, and your home. Score some serious savings at Burlington, up to 70% off other retailers' prices on clearance items. These deals on top of deals won't last long, so stop in today. Burlington. Deals, brands, wow. Prices and selections vary by location.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Hasbro Gumball Banks. And you heard Bozo the Clown. You also heard that famous catchphrase, thanks for the gumball. It's that's embedded in my brain. I can't get rid of it. It's just there, and that was a cool toy. It's I have a gumball machine from work. The hotel gave it to me. I haven't put anything in it, but it's a cool toy. It's really nice. And with that toy that Hasbro made, you can refill it with gumball, with gum like that. You put the penny in the slot, and you say thank you to the characters. One thing is that I remember. Do you remember those Light Bright commercials? That toy where you turn it up, you plug it in, and you put all different colors of lights. And Bozo the Clown was featured in that, and somebody made a picture of that with the light formatting the picture with the lights. And that's another memory of that. And they still sell merchandise for Bozo the Clown, as far as I know. A lot of vintage ones are on eBay. Also, I forgot to mention there was the punch. There was like the balloon. You blow it up, and then you punch Bozo. He's like an inflatable doll, like that. And that was in the 60s, I think, like that. There were a lot of them. Lots of them, and because he's a very popular character. A true icon, especially in Chicago. Still talk about to this day. We all love the character. We love the show that was on Channel 9. Great memories, Great memories indeed. Okay. So that's it for this program. I'll do a recap of what I talked about. I talked about the Naugles taco and hamburger restaurants in Chicago. Also, I talk about merchandising that involved Bozo the Clown. And this podcast will be published later on today, wherever podcasts are available: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Spotify, Amazon Music, also Breaker, Overcast, iHeartRadio. Last I heard was there, and also it'll be published on my blog, FanChicagoland.blog. And also on my social media accounts: Facebook, X, Threads, Instagram. You click on the link, and also Reddit. Also on LinkedIn, if you're on that. Okay, I will do another podcast episode Tuesday, I believe. And you know what? Thanksgiving's coming up. So I'll probably do a Thanksgiving episode. I'm not exactly sure what I just thought of one. Yeah, I thought of a theme of that just now, so that'd be kind of cool. And I'll mention some other things about Thanksgiving. So it's one of my favorite holidays. I'm looking forward to it. And then Christmas is coming, which is great. I love this time of year. It is beautiful. Yeah, it really is. Okay, so this is Pico Stanis, your host for Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. I hope everyone have a wonderful Sunday. It's a nice day, a little cool, but the sun is out, and I went out this morning, and it's very nice. You wear a jacket, of course, but it's not snowing or raining, thank goodness. So that's good. All right. So here's bye bye for me, and here's Ray Rayner with a little traveling music saying bye bye bye. Take care, everyone, and so long.
We have to go. Bye bye bye.